Ahmad, can you tell us a little bit about just what your process was going through the portal and why you settled on Mizzou?
It was pretty big, almost every team in the nation contacted me or whatever, but as far as Mizzou, I feel like this was like home. They were saying the right stuff like that. And the coaches, the staff, they did their job, so I feel like it was at home. And the players, they welcomed me in, so.
What's your process for navigating when you're getting all that attention? It sounds like that could be a lot when you're getting
I prayed about it, talked to my family about it emotionally. Really, my dad actually talked to my dad about it, and we came down to the decision.
Ahmad, Mizzou's obviously a zone running scheme. What about your running style did you think made you a really good fit here for what Mizzou wants to do on offense?
So we run this outside zone like I did in my old school. So I feel like I'm perfecting my craft at the outside zone with my forcefully running and stuff like that. So I feel like I do pretty good.
Ahmad, do you want to tell me about the relationship you grew with Coach Luper during the recruitment process and how that's maybe even fostered further in spring camp?
Yes, sir. Coach Luke reminded me of my old coach, a lot like my dad. So Coach Luke, he get on to us, he get on to us, but he wants the best for us, so he get on our tails, but he makes sure we do what we're supposed to be doing.
I'm sure you've heard over and over again about your yards after contact your first year. How does that kind of describe the mentality that you have around the ball?
So when I get the ball, every time I do get the ball, I think of go score and don't hit the ground. A lot of people I'm one of those guys that say I want my jersey cleaned after the game. I don't like it dirty, so I try to stay off the ground.
Ahmad, obviously there's a pretty decent history over the last couple of years here with successful running backs. I'm sure that's the case with other schools that are recruiting you, but what about the recent success of Missouri running backs with guys like Cody Schrader, guys like that stood out to you?
Yeah, so Cody, I heard he was a walk-on and, he set records here, so I know he put in the work, and of course we can see by his yards. So I actually didn't know that Mizzou went 10-2, I think, last year, and I seen he had 1,600 yards, so I'm looking to try to beat that record.
Ahmad, so much has been made, and rightfully so, about your yards after contact, right? But at the same time, last year there were only 2 guys in the entire country who forced more missed tackles. Is that somewhat of an underrated aspect of your game, making guys miss that wiggle of yours?
That's something I want to perfect. A lot of people say I'm just a downhill runner, so I try to make guys miss and get around tackles, not just run through people.
Bob, can you tell us about Coco?
Yeah, that's my horse. This is one of my horses. I have another horse named Jet, but yeah, I like to ride. She's a 4B gated horse, so pretty smooth.
When did you get her? What's the process of you coming down with these horses?
So, it's a lot of guys in the horse business. NFL superstar Devin White, he has horses, so I try to contact guys like that and guys under him like that, and I purchase the horse and I get it shipped in, and we start from there.
How have you been able to use that as like a bonding experience? We heard from Kevin Coleman a couple weeks ago said that you guys were able to connect over that. How have you used it as a bonding experience since you've been here so far? Yeah,
so I'm from Mississippi. I'm kind of country, and these guys, they haven't seen anything like that. They're from the city, so it's kind of cool or whatever to them, but I've been doing it my whole life, so I try to introduce those guys to it.
Who else been out there with you?
Kevin has been the only one that's actually been out there, but half of the team want to go. Yeah.
I'm curious if they've ever given you the aux during workouts or anything, and if you put them on some country music.
Yeah, somewhat, something like that, and a little bounce. So.
What have the last 3 weeks or so looked like since camp, and then what are the things you're trying to work on throughout the off season, right before fall camp starts?
Yeah, so I'm looking on to perfect my craft, like I said, and learn the plays more and more of the playbook, not just what I do, but what everybody do, and learn the scheme.
I'm just curious, with all the changes coming to college sports, how different your high school recruitment was compared to the recruitment you went through this time around.
Yeah, so out of high school, obviously I didn't get recruited much. I don't even think if I had any stars. And then in the portal I was a 4-star, but obviously, didn't get recruited, and I proved what I could do, and now they can see, and I got more to prove, but trying to get that recognition. Yeah.
How much different were those conversations conversations this time in December? What did those conversations look like with the game's about to be changing?
Yeah, so most of the schools I try to reach out to them, but in the portal they reached out to me, you know, and I kind of felt some type of way because they didn't recruit me out of high school, but I treated them with the same respect and, you know, went through the process and talked to Mizzou at the end and then committed here.
Ahmad, a little while ago, Deshaun Ford, a recent ULM commit, he said when he committed he wanted to be the next Ahmad Hardy. Is this a path that you thought that you might pave with your decision to transfer up here, and where you see this going in the future?
Honestly, I did not. I didn't think anybody wanted to be like me, but obviously he's one of those guys that want to put in the hard work and get to the next level like I wanted to. So I'm wishing the best for him.
What should we know about the running back room and how have they embraced you, you know, since you've been up here?
We all pushing each other to become great. No matter who gets the starting position, we push each other each and every day to compete. And we all love each other and we're family.
Anything else? All right.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Ahmad.
you.
Thanks, Ahmad.